All right, let's talk about something that I think drives all of us a little crazy. It's that one friend, the one who always cancels. Oh, you know exactly who I'm talking about. We all have one. And they're probably awesome, right? The life of the party when they actually show up. Great stories, super fun to be around. So you make plans, you get all excited. They seem excited too. They hit you with the, oh yeah, for sure, I am definitely coming this time. I am 100% in. And then what happens? Like clockwork. Maybe 2 hours before, your phone buzzes, and you just know it's that text. Hey, something came up. So vague. And poof, the plan just kind of deflates. Look, the first time it happens, whatever. Life happens. The second time, it's kind of annoying. But by the 10th time, it's not a coincidence anymore. It's a full-on pattern. But here's the crazy part. The next time you're planning something, you still send them that invite. Why do we do that? It's this weird puzzle, isn't it? There are two sides to it. What is going on in their head that makes them cancel all the time? And maybe, just maybe, the more important question is, what's going on in our heads that we keep letting it happen? Well, that's what we're going to unpack right now. Okay, so first, let's look in the mirror. Let's talk about our side of the street. Why do we keep playing this game? Turns out, the reason has way less to do with them and a lot more to do with this little glitch in our own brains. You might have heard of this before. It's called the sunk cost fallacy, and it's this mental trap we all fall into. Basically, our brain thinks, man, I've put so much time and energy and emotion into this friendship already. If I stop now, all of that was for nothing. So we keep going, not because we think it's going to get better, but because we don't want to feel like we wasted the past. And what are these sunk costs in a friendship? Well, it's not about money. It's all the inside jokes you have, the shared history. It's all that emotional energy you've invested over the years. It's also that story we tell ourselves, oh, they're probably just swamped at work. And let's be real, it's the fear of having that super awkward conversation. So what do? We just send another invite. It just feels easier. But that's just our side of things. It's only half the story. To really get what's going on, we got to flip the script and look at it from their perspective. Because it's usually not as simple as they're just a bad friend. The psychology behind why people cancel is actually pretty surprising. Okay, so our assumption is pretty straightforward. They don't respect me or my time. And honestly, that's a totally valid way to feel. But what's often the reality for them? It's usually not about disrespect. It's more of an internal battle. It could be anxiety, or they're just completely overwhelmed, or, and this is a big one, they're a chronic people pleaser. Yeah, research actually points to these 5 hidden traits that a lot of chronic cancelers have, and they might not even realize it themselves. First, they're just not great at managing their own energy. They say yes when they're feeling good and totally forget they might be exhausted later. Second, like we said, people pleasing. Saying yes feels easier in the moment than saying no. Third, as the event gets closer, they get this anticipatory anxiety, and canceling suddenly feels like a huge relief. This all points to number 4. They have really weak boundaries. And finally, number 5, they often say yes to things that deep down they don't even really want to do. All right, so we've seen our side, the whole sunk cost thing, and we've seen their side, the internal struggle. Now we can finally get to the real turning point. And this requires us to ask a totally different kind of question. See, this is it. The big shift. The question isn't, why do they keep canceling on me? We could analyze them forever, but we can't change them. The real question is, why do I keep inviting them? And as soon as you ask that, everything changes. The power is back in your court. You're not just waiting around to be disappointed anymore. You're actively making a choice. So you've asked the question. You're ready to change this whole dynamic. What now? Well, the good news is you don't have to plan some big, dramatic, we need to talk confrontation. No way. The fix is actually way simpler and, honestly, way more effective. And here's something you really need to hear. This isn't just you being needy. Research shows that reliability is one of the biggest factors in a happy friendship. More than having the same hobbies, even more than having similar values. Simply showing up. That matters a lot. Okay, so what's the simple fix? 4 steps. First, just acknowledge that your feelings are valid. It is okay to be frustrated by this. Second, if you feel you need to, you can have one clear, calm conversation about it. But step 3 is the real game changer. Stop planning around them. Don't make the whole plan depend on their maybe. And that brings us to the most important part, step 4. Make the plan happen anyway. The dinner happens, the movie night happens, your life does not stop just because they might cancel. Because at the end of the day, this is what it all boils down to. Good friendships aren't built on promises or, I'll try to be theirs. They're built on people actually showing up. That's the foundation. And you deserve friendships with people who don't just say they'll be there, but who actually are there. So think about that friend who popped into your head at the very beginning of this. The question isn't really, should I invite them next time? The real question is, are you ready to change the pattern? Are you ready to go have a great time, whether they show up or not?